I want to tell you why I quit a $30,000 a month position in MLM. It's not something that many people do, but you'll be surprised at how many actually do this. And the reason, essentially, is that MLM is a broken system. I'm sorry, but it's true. I know. I've been involved in MLM for well over 25 years. And 97% fail in their MLM home business. And that's just not acceptable. But now there's a way that 97% can succeed in their home business. So what would it be like if you were a part of that 97% succeeding, instead of that miserable 97% that fail? I want to explain what most people will never tell you about MLM. I was first introduced to multi-level marketing back in the late 1980s, and I was fascinated by all the little circles and the power of duplication. I'm sure you've seen it. I had a strong background in marketing, and in fact my wife and I had our own successful conventional businesses. But the attraction of residual income and earning from the efforts of others was hard to resist. I'd been shown John Paul Getty's famous quote, "I'd rather have 1% of the efforts of 100 people than 100% of my own efforts." And it all made so much sense to me, especially because I'd got a friend about my age who dropped dead suddenly from a heart attack. It made me realise that life is so uncertain and it can be so short, and that there's more to life than doing what I was doing, and that was working 18 hours a day to have a fantastic income. Now, I'm not complaining. I was young and I enjoyed what I was doing. But how long can you go on at that pace? And is it really what everybody wants from life? So I got started in MLM, and in a short period of time I was able to go full-time. I had a prestigious office in new development at Salford Quays, the International Trade Centre. I was making a good income and it all seemed to be going well. But what troubled me was when I looked at my group, I just couldn't manage to get the vast majority of my downline actually making any money at all. Very few made anything, and those that did make some money made very, very little. So I looked at other leaders in the company and I looked at their groups, and I saw that their organisations were the same as mine. The leaders were making great money, but 95% or more were having no success at all. So I thought, well, maybe it's the product, because after all, at that time I was involved in a company that promoted water filters. And I thought, well, water filters aren't for everybody. They're not universally accepted, and most families don't consider them essential. And in fact, when I surveyed my downline, I found that hardly any had bought a water filter because they really wanted one. They only bought one to have the chance of making some money from the business opportunity. So what I did was I left that company. I found another company that sold wine, cosmetics and household goods. I thought, surely this will solve the problem. After all, every household uses cleaning products, and almost all use cosmetics, and almost all enjoy a glass of wine. So I started from scratch in this new business, and I built my organisation, and I became the top producer in a very short period of time, only to find that over 95% were still falling through the cracks. They just weren't making any money. So while I was wondering how I could improve the results of my group and putting my own money into systems and brochures, etc., the company actually went bust and left everybody high and dry. So I looked at a few other companies, and what I saw was that in every one the results were the same. Not only that, but even the leaders were what is known in the industry as selling the dream but living the nightmare. You see, what actually happens is that because so few are making money and hardly any actually want the product, most people only last 3 to 6 months and then drop out. So what this means is that it becomes a full-time job just to put new people in to compensate for those dropping out. And this results in what is known in the profession as burnout. Burnout's just another term used in the MLM industry, meaning it gets too hard to keep pace with everything. So no matter how great your income is, it's just no longer worth the stress and strain of keeping pace with it all. You see, the theory of MLM in practice is great, but for 99.9%, including the leaders, it doesn't work because there is this burnout situation. So 97% or more are failing, even if they're making money. But I wasn't prepared to give up. I thought there has to be a way because the idea is so powerful. So I decided to start my own company. I thought, if I can devise my own pay plans and systems, I can make it work. So we did that. We started 2 companies successively. We paid massive commissions and we even promoted the products and business for our members. And we did significantly improve the figures. But we still had over 80% failing. So, in frustration, I sold out and I quit the industry. Now, what I've just talked about covered a time frame of about 25 years involvement, during which time I actually made a lot of money, so I'm not complaining from that point of view. But I wasn't happy with the ethics, despite the fact that, on paper at least, everyone has the same chance to succeed. So since then, and until my recent retirement, I've concerned myself with more conventional businesses. And those, along with a hobby of online marketing, which I started in 1998, have kept me busy and generated a very good income. However, I noticed that internet marketing has the same failure rates as multi-level marketing. Maybe even worse. And so I started to look for a way that my marketing skills could help people generate income online. I meditated and I prayed, and I was about to set up an online marketing course when I was approached by a friend of mine, Vic, who had a vision to change the face of internet marketing in the same way that I did. We both wanted to show people how it was possible to break through, find the success they deserved and that most people crave. His idea was a big idea, and he was going to call it the Big Idea Mastermind. And I joined him as one of his beta testers. And then today, someone I know asked me about the system and how I was doing. And this was my response. I've changed the name just to avoid any embarrassment, but I said, "Hi Stan, I'm personally doing very well, and the system only went fully live yesterday. But I have over 30 years marketing experience, and so I would expect to do reasonably well. What's exciting me, though, is that there are people with no experience that are actually doing better than me. You see, I've been a top earner in MLM companies and been so frustrated that most of my downline were not making any money. I've set up and run my own MLM businesses to try and correct this, but although I improved success rates, the majority still failed. I got burnout from adding people in just to compensate for those who dropped out, and I've had companies fold beneath me. And for all those reasons, I'm extremely cautious about what I now get involved in. What I find rewarding is that in the Big Idea, I have people I've introduced to this system, and all but 2 are already making money, and I'm sure that I can help those 2 get into profit so that I have a team that's 100% successful. I've never had that before. I've got 1-star recruit who's never made money online before, but after trying for 3 years, she's making thousands just by talking to people on Facebook. In a nutshell, this rocks, and I've never been so excited in all my life. I hope this helps you. God bless, Graham." So that was my reply. The fact is that what we've got here now is something that I can see where at least 97% can succeed. So that's it really. It's taken me over 30 years and thousands of dollars of investment. But now, with Vic's help, I believe there's finally a system where anyone and everyone can succeed. And you can now benefit from this system. And I'm soon going to make it even easier because I'm setting up a system anyone can afford at just $5 a month to train and guide people in getting the right belief and mindset, help them make money and lead them gently and gradually into the Big Idea Mastermind, and that should be live very soon. Now there's probably a million or more ways of making $5,000 a month or more within 60 days online. If you have the mindset to do it, any one of them will do. Once you decide to do it and allow nothing to stand in your way, then one method will present itself to you and you'll be able to achieve your goal. But why take the hard way? We've got a system that's really working now. In our successful team, working with our community of people and being engulfed amongst people who are excited just to see you succeed, anyone who decides to make it happen can succeed here. So what I want you to do is just click on the video now. The dream is now a reality. How would you like to make more money? Be your own boss, work your own hours, improve your standard of living, choose the lifestyle that you deserve? You can get started today. Just click on the video now.